The teams have been released: an English derby in the Champions Cup quarterfinals, Northampton versus Bath in Bath at the Rec. This is going to be an absolutely incredible game to watch. They've released both their teams and they look absolutely packed with international star players. Starting off with Northampton, they've gone for Fischetti, Langdon, Condiona, Lockett, JJ van der Mescht, Kemeny, Henry Pollock, Pearson, McParland, Finn Smith, Fraser Dingwall, Hutchinson, George Furbank, Ollie Slateholm, Tommy Freeman. On the bench, you got Wright, Eogon, Miller Mills, Prowse, Chick, Alex Mitchell, Litchfield, and Hendy. That is a really good Northampton team. And on the Bath side of things, they've gone for Beno Abono, Tom Dunn, Vilekesa Sela, Quinn Rue, Charlie Eels, Guy Pepper, Sam Underhill, Miles Reed, Ben Spencer as captain at number 9, Finn Russell at number 10, Will Muir, Cameron Redpath at number 12, Ollie Lawrence at number 13, Henry Arundel at number 14, Tom de Glanville at number 15. On the bench, have gone for Capueli, Tui Pelotu, Francois van Wyk, Thomas du Toit, Ross Maloney, Ted Hill, Bernard van der Linde, Santi Carreras, and Alfie Barbary. That is a lot of star rugby players there. Both those teams are absolutely stacked, filled with international star players from Italy, Argentina, South Africa, England. They are just stars absolutely everywhere. There's future stars as well. I am so excited for this one, and it feels really good to see two English teams battling it out in the quarterfinal of the Champions Cup. And I think a lot of people are going to be really impressed with the kind of standard of rugby both these teams do play with. They play some really good rugby. They score some incredible tries. If you look at the England international team, the way that they play versus the way both of these two club teams play, it's a completely different kind of style of play. And you can see kind of why a lot of people do say that maybe the England team should try expand their horizons a bit, try play a bit of a different style, which we saw against France in Paris, because you see players like Tommy Freeman, Henry Pollock, Finn Russell from Scotland. You got Cameron Redpath as well as another Scottish player, but then you got Ollie Lawrence. You got some really good players that play international rugby that are just throwing the ball around and looking really good while they do it. But obviously from Bath, they've got guys like Guy Pepper, Sam Underhill, Henry Arundel, Ollie Lawrence. Then guys from Northampton as well. You got the likes of Pollock, Pearson, Finn Smith, Hutchinson, Dingwall, Slateholm, and Furbank, as well as Freeman. Guys that can really chuck the ball around, run around teams, run through teams, really skillful players, which is why I do understand that some England fans really do want the England team to start playing more expansive rugby, to start chucking the ball around a bit more, because they've got the skill set, they've got the players that can do it. And I think that's a really big game for some of these players. First of all, Sam Underhill going to look to try make a statement, to try get back into the starting lineup for England. You got Thomas du Toit on the bench, one of the best props in world rugby, making a huge impact from the bench. You have Danilo Fischetti, the in-form Italian prop right now, looking to make a big impact at the start. You got JJ van der Mescht trying to knock the door down to get a Springbok call-up this year. I personally believe JJ van der Mescht absolutely does deserve a Springbok call-up, but I think honestly, if he can play well in this game, then he's pretty much kind of secured the deal to get a call-up this year. I know there's a lot of locks in the South Africa team that are maybe a bit older right now. And I think JJ van der Mescht, being 26 years old, not an old guy at all by any means, probably has 2 World Cups in him. If he can continue to play rugby at this really high level, then he'll be honestly one of the best Springbok players possible this year and next year. But I mean, there's some really good star players in the loose forwards. Sam Underhill, Guy Pepper, Henry Pollock, some really good players there in the backline. Tommy Freeman, Henry Arundel, George Furbank, Ollie Slateholm, Ollie Lawrence. I mean, this is just a star-studded game of rugby, and I'm so excited for it. But who do I think is going to win? Well, in the start of the week, I was firmly on Bath. I thought Bath was going to win. But looking at the teams right now, it makes it a much more difficult decision for me right now. And to be honest, I do think that the home games throughout both the competitions this week, the Challenge Cup and the Champions Cup, through all the games in the competitions, is going to make a really big difference. So for me, my prediction is I think Bath is going to win. I think it's going to be a very close game. And to be honest, I think this game probably could hang in the balance until the last minute of the game. We could be seeing a kick to win the game. We could be seeing a game that goes all the way until the 80th minute. I just think both these teams really want to try win this tournament, because they both have that self-belief that they are the best English team there is this year. They think that they are the best English team, that they can win this competition. So this game is a bit of a grudge match right now. A lot on the line for this game, a lot of pride on the line as well. And could this game be a bit of a dress rehearsal for the Premiership final? I honestly do believe it is. I think these two teams are the two best teams in the Premiership, and I think they're just showing that right now by being the two teams in the quarterfinal. Of course, there is Sale Sharks that are playing against Leinster, but I honestly don't think that they really have that much of a chance to win this week, especially if Leinster do play their strongest team, which I'm pretty sure they will do. They take this tournament very seriously. But right now, it's pretty clear to me that Bath and Northampton are the two best teams in the English Premiership. And I think a lot of people that are watching this game will just realize how good the rugby really is in the Premiership. I mean, there's players from different countries there, different continents, some star players like Fischetti. You have some really good guys, JJ van der Mescht, and I'm really excited for it. But where do I think both teams can make the difference and really push for that win? Well, first of all, the backline for Northampton I think is absolutely incredible, full of pace, full of speed, full of playmaking, full of star players. I think that's where they really have their strength. I think the Northampton strength is in the backline. They've got some really good forwards as well, but I think that Bath forward pack is what really makes the difference for them. Yes, Bath has a good backline. I mean, they've got Henry Arundel, Ben Spencer, Finn Russell, Cameron Redpath, Ollie Lawrence, some phenomenal rugby players. But I think their forward pack is really where they do make the difference. I mean, they got Charlie Eels, they got Guy Pepper, Sam Underhill looking to really make a big difference. Thomas Dutoy on the bench as well. I do think if Northampton can hang in there with the Bath forward pack, that it could honestly be a really close game until the end. And I think if Northampton do want any chance of winning this game, they have to kind of front up in the forward pack and try dominate Bath. This is where Fischetti, Pearson, Pollock, JJ van der Mescht have really a big task ahead of them in this game, because if they can get that forward dominance and actually beat Bath at their own game, at home, at the Rec, that will be a really big statement by this Northampton team, and I think that could honestly give them the best chance of winning this game possible. We know Bath in the backline has some really good players, but I think this Northampton backline, they just seem to gel so well together. It's almost like they can play together with their eyes closed. They just know where every single person is going to be at all times. They're really close-knit group. It is really sad to see George Furbank leave the squad and go to Harlequins next year. It is obviously something that he's been looking to do for a while now, but he's going to be really missed in this backline. But he's also one of those guys playing for an England jersey against some other guys like Elliot Daly, against Freddie Stewart, to really try and make his mark as the number 15. And in this game, he has the opportunity to do it. I think the next few months is a really big kind of dress rehearsal or big trial for some of these guys that are maybe on the brink of selection for England, or that maybe aren't starting as much as they want to, like a Sam Underhill, a Guy Pepper for him to kind of secure his spot in the starting lineup, a guy for like Henry Pollock to secure his spot in the team. Then for guys like Fraser Dingwall and for guys like George Furbank to really make that case that they should be in the team every single week for England, because I think George Furbank can honestly make a big statement this week. But that being said, I do think Bath is going to win this game. But I think if Northampton can get that physical upfront dominance, then they probably have the better backline in my opinion. I do think it's very close, and this is why I'm so excited for this game. It's going to be so close. It's going to be in the balance probably the whole time. Northampton really have to go out there, make a statement, and try beat Bath at their own game, at home, at the Rec, the whole crowd on top of them. That's what I love so much about the Rec. It's definitely on my bucket list to go watch there. I've never been there in my life before. I've been to Bath. I've never been to the stadium. I've never watched a game there. I've never watched a Premiership game live either. So I would love to go there to watch a game, and I think it's going to be very, very difficult for Northampton to go there and get a win. But obviously it is possible with the team they have. But this Bath team right now, they're playing some good rugby. They're beating teams by far. They haven't really had a slip up yet, and they just look like a really well polished, well oiled machine right now. So I think it's going to be very difficult for Northampton to go and beat Bath. But I think whichever team wins here has a very steep uphill battle to climb next week, either against Toulouse or Bordeaux. I mean, those two teams probably are the two best club teams in the world right now. So seeing that side of the bracket with Bath, Northampton, Toulouse and Bordeaux, it is a bit not kind of the pool of death, but the bracket of death. It just looks like those teams have to absolutely fight it out to get an even chance to play in the final. To me, it kind of feels like those four teams maybe are some of the top four teams, as well as Glasgow and Leinster as well. So it's going to be very exciting. Let me know your predictions down below in the comments. Let me know who you're looking forward to see. Let me know who's your favorite player as well from both these teams, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.